Yeah, but I think that Bitcoin is also a global alarm system. And what Bitcoin is telling us is, I'm calling the bluff of the politicians. If we go and look over the last 3 months, the politicians have added $850 billion to the national debt. And so at that same point, over that 3-month period, Bitcoin is up over 40%. And so right now we have a race between the national debt and Bitcoin. Who is going to reach the sky faster? Because Bitcoin is skyrocketing at the same pace that the national debt is skyrocketing.
So do you buy the camp that says we're going to go to $100,000 a coin, which we're not that far right now. I mean, that's less than a 20% jump to get there. But it is a wild run, right?
Saying that Bitcoin's going to go to 100K used to be controversial. Now I think people pretty much think that for sure it's going to happen. The question is when. Now the
what do you see for it beyond this year into next year?
Timing is very difficult, but to kind of open people's eyes to what I think this asset's going to end up doing, Bitcoin will hit $1 million at some point in our lifetime.
Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. That was Pompliano, of course, and the iBit Bitcoin ETF. It raked in 1 billion in inflows over the past week. That's 27 billion overall for BlackRock since January. And while Bitcoin was mostly in the red today, Japan time, it's starting to show a little bit of a lean towards the green. It's sitting right now trading at $87,609. You can see that Bonk and Sui are doing the best in the top 100 by market cap. The total market cap is almost 3 trillion, just shy at 2.9, and XRP, as I thought it would, settled in around that 66, 67 range, and it has been moving sideways for about 12 hours, just as I predicted. But I really do believe that once we see the liquidity back into the market big time, a lot of these altcoins are going to have a second wind. The big gainer is Peanut the Squirrel. Peanut. It is the new meme, up over 200% in the last 24 hours, already trading at $1.39. Every time I look at it, it's gone up. It launched just 24 hours ago. It did so quietly at 10 p.m. and by 11:15 a.m., it was on Binance, OKX, BitGet, KuCoin, HTX, and others, and it shot off like a rocket. This is on Solana. The breaking news today was President-elect Donald Trump announced Elon Musk and Vivek will lead the Department of Government Efficiency. It has been nicknamed DOGE, D-O-G-E. And as you can imagine, it's caused a flurry of these memes in images. Flare, with the celebration of DOGECOIN coming on to their network to get yield through the F asset, asked everyone to send in their favorite meme coin, and I thought this one was the best. This is from South Korea. My meme stuck to the cute, and I will say that I'm proud to be a Doge holder on and off since 2018, and I was also the first channel to host Hugo Filion of Flare Networks. And Doge found its way into the Coinbase 50 index. You can see that it's an index that's got a very wide spread of different assets. And I think this is fantastic because it shows everyone that there is more to look at than just Bitcoin. You can see Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Dogecoin, and then the remaining 45 make up 11.2%. I love this.
Well, I think Bitcoin will be the most important crypto asset for a long time. It's got a lot of runway to move as well. But what's exciting about this Coin 50 index that we launched is that people are increasingly becoming aware that it's not just about Bitcoin. There are dozens, hundreds of different assets in crypto that are now, they've met our listing standards, they've made it onto our exchange. And actually, there's thousands of these being created every day, believe it or not. And so some of these they're coins like Ton and WorldCoin, which are being used in emerging markets. There's things like in the DeFi space, like Uniswap, that people want exposure to, or the things that are layer 2 solutions are being built on top of, like Optimism. And I think we're eventually going to get to a world where there's millions of these tokens. Every project, every individual, every meme on the internet is going to have one of these. And of course, every company, when they want to raise money, as we get regulatory clarity around securities and have a clear path for that, they should be issuing these coins as well. And so increasingly, people are going to want broad market exposure to crypto. It's going to be the next version of the stock market, but it's also the next version of the internet. And so that's why it's so important for us to have launched this canonical market index, Coin 50, for people who want exposure to the broad market of crypto, not just one asset.
I've got a really rare video for you. This is fewer than 1,500 views in 5 years. It was buried in a sea of YouTube videos. It is Monica Long, the now president of Ripple. She was head of marketing at the time, and I'm sure her answer is influenced by trying to avoid any SEC eyeballs. Have a listen.
I know that effectively XRP is not an investment, right? It's a utility, whatever you want to call it. Now, based on that, help us to understand how somebody who's listening to the show right now, who's thinking, oh, I know it's in the top 10 and I've heard lots about it, but why should people be being involved in XRP? Now, I know that you've got some tricky ways around answering that, I'm sure, as far as what you can and can't say. But what's going to drive XRP to be taken up more and therefore more than likely put more supply pressure to the upside than the downside, shall we say?
We really think about XRP's utility. That's where, with any kind of currency, it all comes down to how useful is it, and for what reason. And so, as I was describing, XRP, if you look at it as a settlement asset, it settles very fast. So on average, about 3 to 4 seconds. Very scalable, can do about 1,500 transactions per second. Very low energy consumption and need because the design of it with the consensus algorithm doesn't employ proof of work, so it's not running into the same kind of issues as Bitcoin or Ethereum or other systems like that. So we really think about use case.
The wave of innovation based in Australia is going to have a blockchain crypto and you event in Brisbane, Friday, November 29th. The venue looks fantastic. There's a diverse group of participants, and you can see Sean is the head of the ecosystem and business development in Australia for the XDC network. I really would love to hear him speak. And speaking of XDC, I look forward to a presentation tomorrow with the Corda Day at the headquarters of SBI. The potential of hybrid chains as seen in a POC with the XDC network and Corda will be presented by Tadashi-san, who is part of the SBI XDC company. Charles Hoskinson had some nice words to say to Brad Garlinghouse, and Mr. Garlinghouse responded back that he was thankful for those kind words. And now, as he continued, it's time for the crypto community to come together, push for a level playing field and clear rules of the road. A rising tide lifts all boats. Whenever I hear that, I think of him. He's been using that for years. Well, this might get a little weird because as Brad and Charles are joining forces to better cross the friendlier but uncharted waters, the documentary, previously known as XRP Unleashed, started to come out today. And with the supported appearances of Digital Asset Buy and Digital Perspectives, it's going savage on Charles and ETH, according to Stephen Nerioff. I don't know. This might just put a stick in the spokes for that coming together. Not sure. I've paid for the digital file, but I don't think we get to see it until around the 20th of this month. So everyone's staying quite quiet who saw it in Scottsdale. It'll be I think, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Have you discovered this site yet? It's very addictive. It allows you to see the XRP ledger in a visual form of the ledger as it closes. And there is a chart here where you can see if it's pink, it's coming from the AMM. If it's green, it is the DEX trade. If it's purple, it's a direct payment. White is the rippling payments. This teal color is a trust line that was set, and yellow represents an NFT. I just started it, so it's a very kind of fresh visual version. It is in 3D, so you can move it around and look at it in different angles. It's very fun. And I've got just a short 15-second clip to give you an idea of when you let it really get full of lots of different transactions on a single screen, how beautiful it is. All right, everybody, I'll let that take you out. Until next time, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.